Probate, like the rest of this world, is getting crazy. For decades, people have been dying in this state, maybe even a little bit longer than that. And the person that was appointed as a personal representative, by and large, did their job. Wasn't a whole lot of fighting out there because the brother could be trusted, the mother could be trusted to do what the grandmom or granddad or whatever wanted to do. But like the rest of the world, we're starting to see stuff in probate world that kind of mirrors what's happening out there in the larger society. I say it all the time, that it's like the crazy stuff that we're seeing now just didn't exist a decade ago, hell, 5 years ago, because people just wouldn't have done what they're doing to mom, dad, grandmom, spouse, whatever, brother, sister, that we're seeing them do now. And that's what produces one of the most interesting aspects of probate, and that is the near lack of any appellate cases. I'm going to get the exact number on there, but I'm going to tell you, it's a super tiny universe of cases that we as lawyers can look at and say, hey, Judge, here's this case, Smith versus Jones, that tells you exactly what you should do in this circumstance. Now, again, in criminal law, family law, all these other things, for any case that you can run into, any factual scenario you can run into, some lawyer can go and find 5, 10, 20 cases that are dead on point, and the other side can defend 5, 10, 20 cases that are likewise dead on point, and that's what allows the judge to come up with a decision in any given case. But probate world, it didn't like that. So we are left primarily with the rules that govern probate and the statutes that govern probate, which are just pretty black and white, pretty literal. And one of the more interesting questions that we have here today is, how can you remove a personal representative that's not doing their job properly in a Florida estate? Well, Florida Statute 733.504 is where the exact text of this comes from. It tells us exactly what the conditions are and exactly what you need to do to remove a personal representative. And it's basically, malfeasance, self-dealing, not following orders from the court, incapable of performing their job, failed to account for sales or anything like that. Now, I got to tell you, removing a personal representative is one of the things that I enjoy. I hate to say this, I'm a masochist. I mean, I'm a litigator. That's what makes my role different than most probate people. Because for decades, probates all just kind of moved through the system, and there wasn't a whole lot of fighting, wasn't a whole lot of litigating. But what is changing right now in real time is we're starting to litigate stuff that never litigated in the past. So what's typically happening now in probate is you got a personal representative over here. It's been appointed by mom, dad, whatever. They step into the role and they're moving that train around the tracks. And if they got good representation, they got good attorneys telling them what to do, they're communicating with the heirs, and in most circumstances, everything's just moving along fine. But I had a case recently, really interesting. Woman petitions to be personal representative, swears under affidavit under penalties of perjury that I am the only one that's entitled to take from my dear sister's estate. I'm the one that's entitled to everything. Well, the problem with that is she knew darn well that she had other siblings over here. Dead guy had siblings over here. She's telling the court, I'm the only one, Judge, give it all to me. Now, the siblings over here had been text messaging back and forth. I'm sorry that our sibling died, and what should we do? And this one says, well, don't come down. I got it all taken care of, and blah, blah, blah. And in fact, what was going on was she's moving along trying to administer this estate without communicating and frankly, explicitly keeping these people out of the picture. So that was a real easy one. I go run into court and say, Judge, you got a couple big problems here. Number one, this personal representative saying that she's the only one just flat out ain't true. And this is not a situation like another case I had where the personal representative in good faith just didn't know that dad had squired a couple other kids over here. So when these other kids popped up, it was a good faith it's not even a misrepresentation. It was a good faith misstatement when a PR says that I got nobody else I need to talk to here. In the case that I'm talking about now, PR that had been appointed absolutely knew about these other ones. So getting that PR removed was easier-ish. But I got to tell you, none of this stuff is really easy. And getting it in front of the judge on a timely basis, none of that's easy. And that is one of the most frustrating things about this for everyone involved in the system. Once you get into this court case, and even if you've got an ugly, ugly case of PR, taking money, misusing funds, completely disrespecting, misrepresenting, whatever, all the kids over here, getting that person removed is very difficult. Getting on the calendar to get him removed is difficult. That's where the I don't call them the tricks, but where the skill comes in, where you better start putting this stuff up in real colorful terms about what the PR is doing in order to get that judge's attention, because that's my primary role right now. When a set of ugly facts come in here about what someone's doing over here and what these people over here say that someone over here is doing bad, my primary role is painting a picture through words and pleadings that gets in front of a judge and convinces the judge that of the 3,000 cases that judge has on the docket, Judge, I need you to take a deep breath here and read what's going on here. So let's talk to some practical guidance here. The client that comes in that says this PR is a bad person and they're stealing dad's money or they're not respecting or whatever else like that. Yeah, I get it. That's bad. But first thing you got to do is get my attention. And the sort of practice pointer is this. Don't just rely on hearsay or what you say the PR is doing or whatever else like that. Get me some facts. Text the PR. Ask them for money. Ask them for an accounting. Ask them for compliance with their duties. And if you can really demonstrate to me that this PR over here is giving you the big middle finger, and it happens, and not just once, but repetitively, you're a beneficiary, you're entitled to all this information, and the big fat PR over here is telling you, go screw yourself, go pound sand, I'm the PR. And one of the dynamics that's at play often in these estates is the personal representative was the big shot. He was the one that dad favored. He was the one that mom had a liking to. He was the smarty pants, the lawyer, the accountant, the whatever. And so that one becomes the personal representative. And the other thing is that personal representative is used to being the big shot, the big smarty pants, the big know-it-all. And so he's used to, put thumb in his nose and squishing down all these other people over here. And look, whenever I do these things, this is for both people. If you're Mr. Big Shot PR over here, you got to understand something. I'm going to shake you of what your real duty and role is. You ain't the big shot, smarty pants anymore that has all the power in the world and can act like you're God. That ain't the way this works. You are in a fiduciary capacity, which means, like it or not, you better hold your nose and treat all these beneficiaries over here with respect. You better read real carefully what the statute says about what your duty to all these other people over here are. And then back to when this person isn't. Start capturing the text messages, the emails, the ugly stuff. I got one case, this is a crazy one, where there's actually recorded video of the PR being super ugly to beneficiaries over here. And I mean, I don't understand how in the world this person allowed video, or it's actually audio recording to occur. Full consent, which you got to do because we're a two-party state. And this person's just flat out saying, I'm glad she finally died because she was getting real expensive for us. That's almost an exact quote. But that's the kind of thing. This client had done a really good job of prepping all that stuff, getting his facts in there. So the bottom line is this. Removing a PR is difficult. It ain't going to happen just because they've done a couple of ugly things in there. It takes prepping that case up, prepping them facts up, but you do it correctly. You can get them removed. You can get them surcharged. You can get all that money back into the estate and start respecting the wishes of the deceased and ultimately respecting the rules of the court. Down to the rules of the court, floridarules.net. That website right there has got it all on there. We're adding in videos every day that give more context and explanation for what every one of those things means.